All right, everyone, and welcome back to another Solo Leveling Rise video. My name is DFree, and we've got 3 new artifact sets, but we've also got the level 90, 95, 85, all that, of all the other stuff too. So we're going to cover this here today, which ones I think you guys should be focusing on and more, and which of the old ones are worth investing in. That mostly hasn't changed. I'll just kind of throw that as a quick hitter, but make sure you do subscribe because 80% of viewers are not subscribed and they are missing out on the content that we are putting out on the game. Make sure that that is not you. Also, make sure if you're not supporting another creator that you support me through the link down below in the description to get free codes. And if you are supporting me, I send those out typically once a day. So make sure you check the codes that have been sent to you via the support tab on the website you go to. All right. So chaotic, wish, helmet, and desire, excuse me, wish, and infamy. So that's pretty interesting that we finally got new stuff. It's been quite a while since we've got actual new artifact sets. We had some of those like cosmetic ones that are just like seasonal, whatever, but they're not really different. So this is pretty cool. Let me know in the comments which one you guys think is the most impactful, but similarly to the burning stuff, they are mostly going to be useful elsewhere. We also did get the Iron Will as well, so we got to cover that. I don't think there's anything else that's new in here. If there is, forgive me. I think that's just it. So I guess we'll start off with Iron Will. Actually, we'll go to Iron Will in a moment, but first I want to kind of just say which ones of these older sets are even worth going up. So first thing, Expert. Expert should go to 100. If you can, you should take Expert to 100 for sure. You want to push Expert up. Shining Star. Okay, so there's a couple more in here. Okay, there's a couple on the right side. Okay, we'll get to those later. But Expert for sure, which is the Beast Necklace, is worth going up. This is a very commonly used one. We'll see if it's been power crept. I haven't read these at all for the right side pieces. We'll see if it's been power crept. But Expert was one that's been commonly used, so until I get to that point of the video, that's one I would recommend. Warmonger, which is this Egress looking set, the Crimson Knight, I like that one a lot. But for the most part, I mean, the Carglagon one-hit kill set, that one's okay. For the most part, the game had kind of moved away from most of these. Destroyer here, every now and again you would use some of these like in niche cases or in very specific types of content on very specific characters, but for the most part the game had kind of moved away from a lot of these. Cleric's Hat, Holy Hat, these are okay sets as well on support characters. Armed has an okay 4-piece set, but I wouldn't really use it much. Aside from that, the 2-piece is okay too. But again, burning sets are also still ones I would consider. So there you go. Let's start off with Iron Will. The 2 set increases the user's defense. The 4 set, when the user uses their ultimate skill, and increases their defense by 5%, stacking up to 5 times. Ooh, that's very strong. And then increases ultimate skill damage by 50% one time only. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so here's the thing with this. So first thing, any hunter that scales off of defense is going to get a huge bonus off this, of course, because by default they're getting more defense, which is their own attack, right? They scale off the defense as opposed to attack. And then also, as they repeatedly use the ultimate, they're going to get more defense. So that's going to just make them stronger as the fight goes on. They get that one-time super buff of 50% on the ultimate as well. So that's good too, but every ultimate after that will still be stronger than the regular ultimate, at least it should be, because the extra defense increases, right? So that's altogether really, really good. Any hunter that fits into that category is going to get a huge benefit from that, especially if it's a hunter that can use their ultimate more consistently than others. And who comes to mind is a character like Thomas. Now, Thomas is a little bit weird because he scales off defense, but his ultimate, it's like, it's mostly to set him up. Like it's mostly to set him up for the second ultimate. So he's, I guess the transformation is gonna ruin the second ultimate getting that 50% damage bump, right? Like I think that's how that would work. I think that's how that would work. Like that would just eat that off, right? But otherwise he'll still get pretty strong. He's able to use this pretty consistently. He comes to mind. Breakers are a little bit different, to be fair. There's not a lot of defense scaling fighters. In fact, I think it's only a couple, right? You and Charlotte, I think, are mostly the ones that are going to benefit from this. Charlotte's going to be a huge benefactor of that set. But yeah, like breakers, you can, that's okay, but I would probably still mostly just put burning greed on them unless we see something different. But a breaker character, support character, not as crazy, but a DPS based defense scaling character is one that would mostly get the benefit off of that. I'm trying to look. There's more like Dongsu, but like he's Dongsu. We're not using Dongsu right now. So I guess it's mainly those two that would really benefit from this, but it's a solid set for sure. It's actually particularly solid on Charlotte because she's able to get that ultimate off whenever she wants. Like, it's actually really strong on her specifically, because they're able to get that 5% stacking up to 5 times for a permanent duration when they use their ultimate skill. And before Charlotte scales off of attack, and I'm forgetting that. All right, let's go to Chaotic Wish Helmet. This one's pretty cool. So the Wish effect is applied when the user uses their ultimate, and it applies to the user and their team. Now, it gives an attack increase, and then after that, it turns to the Enhanced Wish and Chaotic Wish. Throughout those, it starts adding in defense and HP stacks as well, or stat increases as well. And it recovers your HP and reduces the cooldown. So the 8-piece effect of this is really insane. I don't know that this has a ton of value as a 2-piece set. You could if you want. I mean, it's the thing with this set is that it's under the stipulation of when the user uses their ultimate as a 2-piece, right? That's highly restricted. Highly restricted. Now, unless it's on a character like Charlotte or somebody like that can get it off pretty quickly, that's a little bit different. As a 2-piece on a support, that could be kind of interesting. But speaking of support, as a 4-piece, it adds in, it can be triggered when you use the support skill. As an 8-piece, it adds in core attack, which is really strong to get that. Now, you want this for sure as an 8-piece if possible, because it's extremely easy to use and trigger. You can trigger it pretty quickly. You get 15% attack, defense, and HP, which every character will benefit at least in some degree to that. You're also getting the most HP recovery, with also, I believe, the shortest cooldown. The longest cooldown, but you're also getting the basic skill cooldown, which is really strong. You know, a character that really stood out to me with this one was Amamiya, because it's going to increase the MP consumption. She doesn't love that, of course, but the ability to get her skills off faster than she already does, that may matter. That may make the difference. I need to test it and see, like, what's the actual difference in aggregate. Is she getting her skills off, like, you know, a second or 2 faster? How many more skills does that amount to her using in a battle? Was it 10 and now it's like 13 or whatever? Just, that's terrible math, but you get my point. Like, how much does that matter? And then again, she'll have that 15% attack increase. Is she yielding more damage as a result? I'd imagine she would be, but you know, I think that's a character that kind of comes to mind with that. Now, aside from that, I don't know that there's a character that's hyper specific focused on this. Like, I think you could just slap this on anybody as an 8-piece and it would just be good. like anybody, seriously, because you're going to be reducing the cooldown. Every character in the game can benefit from that. Again, I still like mostly reserve I would like to put this type of stuff on breakers, because I don't like to put this type of stuff on breakers because I like to just have them break as quickly as freaking possible, which means I'm going to put Burning Greed or Analysis if I need to, I guess. But that's mostly what I like to do with those guys. But for like literally anybody else, that's nice. And you can even make the argument for some support characters to be able to use this effectively. But really all your DPS characters can benefit largely from this. It's almost kind of cheeky to put this on Kanai, because she really doesn't want the MP consumption rate up. You can offset it a little bit with cores and gems and all the other stuff, but like, she really doesn't want that. But the cooldown is kind of nice. It's kind of cheeky, man. I need to see this in action. But Yagami stuff there, Deimos' stuff. Chaotic Desire, 2-set. When an attack that deals break damage hits you trigger the Desire effect, increases the user's elemental damage by 0.5, stacking up to 20 for a permanent bonus there. There is a little bit of a cooldown on that, but that's fine. It's just that you don't get the 20 like in 15 seconds. When the Desire effect has stacked 20 or more times, it becomes Enhanced Desire. Increases the damage of the user's skill with break by 30%. Increases the user and the team's members' elemental damage by 20%. Ooh, I hadn't read this one. Ooh, that's kind of crazy. Oh, another thing about the Wish set, by the way, is if you're using more than the 2-piece set, the effect doesn't apply to the whole team. At least it doesn't read that way, because Wish specifically does that, but then Wish changes and it says you can't trigger Wish anymore. Like, it's weird. But with this one, that reminded me of that. But with this one, increasing their elemental damage is kind of nuts. By 20%, permanent duration, that's kind of nuts. 8 effect, attacking enemies that are at an elemental weakness increases the user's break effectiveness. All right, that's what we needed. Well, new break set. To be fair, Greed still does the crit thing, which is really strong. But this is just, look at 40%. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The enhanced desire effect becomes the chaotic desire effect, which is increase the damage of the user skill with break by 50%. The user and the team member's elemental damage goes up. My god, this is, you know what this is? This is perfect for the new gen breakers we've been getting, who've got break on every goddamn skill. Like the one like Saren or Surin that just came out today. Or Goto. Ridiculous. These characters that are basically DPSs but are breakers, and they've also got some support stuff in there if you're like Go or your Essel or your Seren. I don't remember if Goto does. He probably does have something in there, but they've also got that. Like, breakers are just really interesting in this game. The design choice for them is really interesting, but this, man, this is massive. The elemental damage is ridiculous because most of the time you're using teams that are designed to take on a specific, like a full win team, because the enemy's weak to win. Like, you're doing stuff like that. 40% extra is crazy. The extra damage for a character that does break effect is ridiculous, right? Because that's helping offset the fact that they are not your primary DPS. It's helping them be more of that. This is huge. And the only thing that really Greed is doing otherwise is the crit thing. Is there a 4-4 world that you could do? Nah, I don't think so. I mean, the good news is Greed does 10% crit rate and damage. I care more about the rate than the damage because it's not a very high damage increase. Yeah, I think Greed's probably just power craft. Unless you're going double breaker, you could maybe go double breaker, but I wouldn't really do that. You're probably better off just using a support in the last slot. And of course you need DPS. Unless with this stuff, you can go, like, say for example, Win. Can you go Goto, Wu, and Hansemi? Can you do that? Can you just bypass Amamiya? I doubt it, but just imagine, right? All right, so Chaotic Infamy. I also haven't read this one. Using the skill grants the Infamy effect, excludes support skills. Using what skill? Using this skill grants. I assume you mean using basic skills. Okay, that's weird. Increases basic skill damage by 1.5%, stacking up to 20. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Speaking of Amamiya. Oh my god. Stacking the user's damage taken by 1% up to 20 times. Oh, they're just trying to turn your characters into glass cannons, which she already is. Increases the user's basic skill damage by 2.5, stacking up to 20. Increased damage up to 20%. When the user uses their basic skill, they recover MP. Oh no, this was quite literally designed for that character. This was quite literally designed for Amamiya. Quite literally. In team fight mode, the user's damage dealt increases by 40%. When the enhanced infamy effect has stacked 10 times, it becomes chaotic. Increases the user's basic and ultimate skill by a flat 100%. So instead of trying to stack, it's a flat 100 for a permanent duration. Removes the damage taken increase effect. Holy shit. The user regains 5% of their MP when they use their basic skill. Cooldown is 30 seconds. This is ridiculous. Okay, so this is ridiculous. In teamfight mode, the user's damage dealt increases. So this also is insane for teamfight content like Power of Destruction, Guild Boss. They're going to get another 40% damage dealt. But this is going to be insane on Sung. This is okay. So they're doing. And I should have thought this was the case. They're kind of doing the support DPS breaker 3-piece like they did with Burning. Okay, so Wish has to, in hindsight, Wish has to apply the 15% to the whole team. It has to, because otherwise it's not doing anything for anybody else. It has to. And maybe that's just something I overlooked, because the other two, every time they're doing something for anybody else, it says explicitly. Wish has to do it for the other stuff. Otherwise, it's not a support one, really. Like, it's weird. But this is quite literally a DPS one. So this will be insane. On any character that has low cooldowns or that's oriented on defense, or excuse me, on damage, this is going to be ridiculous. This is going to be ridiculous on Kanai. This is going to be ridiculous on Yusi Hyun. Oh my god, those characters are going to absolutely shred with this. This will again be ridiculous on Sung. However, Sung he's versatile. He can kind of do whatever you want him to do. But yeah, but the thing is, you really want that 8-piece. You're not. I don't think it's worth it to do 4 and 4 expert. I think with this one you're going 8. I think you've got to go 8 with this one because it's just such a huge yield and damage. I think it's just such a huge yield and damage. Now, Curse was giving damage taken up, increased damage dealt by 30%, and additionally increases the damage. Curse gives a lot of just general damage, but at the same time, this is already doing 100 to basic skills and ultimates with no buffer. I think it sounds like it's better. I think it's better. Okay, so at least 2 of the 3 have been heavily power crept, but I think Curse is still useful. Don't get me wrong. 4-piece Curse is still probably really, really good. I also really think 8-piece Blessing is still good. And Greed is also good. It's just, I don't think you really need it. All right, let's look at these other sets over here that were new. The Destructive Instinct necklace. What do? The damage of user skills with the break effect increases. The skill damage increase effect goes to 60. Holy shit, they're really trying to turn breakers into DPSs. Okay, well, like I was mentioning earlier with the other break set, Goto got insane buffs from this stuff. Goto specifically got insane buffs. Also, Surin, of course, too, but Goto. I've got a lot of experience with him, so I'll shout him out. When the user or a team member tags in, it increases their attack by 12%. Increases attack, increase effect to 28. When the user or a team member tags in, it increases their attack. So it's not like some of the other sets that we've seen where you increase the team's XYZ. So wait, no. This does do that. I was thinking that this would need to be on the character that's getting the bonus. This just gives a 28% attack increase when a team member tags in, right? Would this trigger on support? I don't think this triggers in support. I'd have to see. I'd have to go. It's freaking so much testing. Because I mean that's a support. That's not a QTE. That's a support. They're not tagging in. But if it does trigger, then my god. But otherwise, this is actually really strong. Increasing their attack by 28 is massive. Like, this is another one that, like, an attack-based DPS got a huge bonus if this works the way I'm reading it. That's an insane buff for a character. Like, again, she's already ridiculous. She just rips this game apart. So, yeah. But that's another one that doesn't benefit a character like a Charlotte or like a, or Amamiya too, yeah. But like a Charlotte or like a, Thomas, where they're scaling off defense instead, right? So they're not getting the full benefit of that. Okay. So now that we've kind of gone through all of these, I wonder if there's a way for me to make a tier list on this. All right, so it's not going to be the best, but I just kind of uploaded on something that was already here that had these. So shout out to, I think Ollie made this. Yeah, shout out to Ollie. So I'm going to go through this and kind of just throw these in there quickly. Maybe I'll readjust it later, but let's go. So Armed, I like it. Still got some usefulness. I guess for now I will place it there. Destroyer, I like it as well. Guardian, don't really care as much about Guardian or Noble Sacrifice. One hit kill I like too. Solid Analysis, I think it's just freaking Nat right there. What the heck? I think Solid Analysis is mostly just power crap. I don't think there's any reason to use it. Solid Foundation. This is Warmonger, right? That's Warmonger, right? Am I crazy? No. Oh, Solid Foundation. Actually, Warmonger's not on this, is it? So I forgot all about Solid Foundation, dude. I forgot that set existed. That's the one that increases your attack, right? Yeah, Warmonger's not on here. That's annoying. Warmonger's S, by the way. Oh, is there anything else I'm missing? I think it's just Warmonger. I think that's it. I'm gonna say just flat out Warmonger's S. I forgot all about Solid Foundation. Is there, that's the one for the core attacks, right? Like, is there any reason to use this? I don't think so. I don't think there's any reason to use it. Berserker is cute. I like Berserker. Although there's not really many characters I'm putting it on. Okay. Champion of the Field, another one that's like super old, I forgot existed. Concentration, nah, I like it in theory, and I think it's got some niche use cases, but no. Executioner, absolutely not. Expert is S. There's a freaking gnat that's driving me nuts. Outstanding is cool. I'm gonna have to stop the video, dude. These three are S's. I think those three are fine. Now here's the thing, by extension these new 6 are better than all the old ones in my opinion. They just are. I think that they are better slotted, more appropriately slotted, and the reality is with some of these is that I like these front 3 that are non 8 pieces. I don't know if there's any reason to break off one of these 4-piece sets and then stick it with one of these other ones. Like, say, for example, this Iron Will on the left side and then one of the other sets on the right side. Like, I don't think there's much reason to do something like that. I think these 8-piece sets seem like they're probably best as 8 pieces, but it remains to be seen what the community mostly decides. That one there, what did that one do again? This dark one. Destructive Instinct. The damage, oh, okay, yeah, well... Skill damage effect increases to 60%. Like, you get more damage off of that on a breaker. The breaker would do more damage, but like at the same time, you're not getting, like, this is my point. Like, there's no reason I wouldn't. All you're doing is making the breaker do more damage instead of getting the extra 20% elemental damage from your team. And the breaker with the 8-piece still does more damage and gets the effectiveness up. Like, I wouldn't use that. I would just go full 8. I wouldn't use that. So that's kind of the dilemma that we're in with 8-piece sets. Like, I'm sure I'd feel the same way about a few of these. I think that's kind of the dilemma that we're in. So while I think it's got individual merit, I just wouldn't use it. Like, I'm trying to think of a use case for it. Making the breaker do more elemental or more damage if they've got a break skill. Like, it's not making them break more efficiently. I'm not crazy, right? Like, it's the damage of the user's skills with break effect increases. Yeah, like, it's just making it do more damage. It's not increasing break effectiveness by some crazy amount. So to me, I'd rather get the extra 20%. But if you're not, again, something that you have a team that's designated that way, then that one could go up for sure. If this one works the way I think it works, this is going to be a nice piece on the right side. So I'll put it there. Iron Will, I think, is actually going to be pretty good on the defense, the main 2 defense DPSs. So I'll put that one up there as well. These 3 are going to be automatic S's because the full 8-piece effect is just extremely strong. Now, are there any below? I think I could maybe move. I think Concentration could go up 1. I'm not going to do it. Champion of Field is kind of whatever. That's the one that I think increases your attack when you land a crit or something. No, that's Expert. I'm stupid. Increases your attack up to a maximum is what it is, right? Oh, I was right. I was right. Increase the use of attack. There's just so many artifact sets. Increase can now stack to 6 times. Like, that's not bad. It's not bad. For 8 seconds, not long enough. It's not bad. There's better stuff. I could be nice to it and move it up, though, but I don't think I will. Solid Foundation. One last quick look. I totally forgot this set existed. Where the f even is it? What the hell? Did it not go to 100? Did they not push that set to 100? Wait a minute. Okay, I was like, bro, I'm like hella not seeing it. Okay, there we go. Basic attack. Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, this one was one that increased the core. So this one was really good for a little bit on Alicia. But yeah, no, I don't. There's no reason to use this. There's hunters that can benefit from core gauge and stuff. Even Sung, when he's got like his fire set on, I just still wouldn't use it. So no, I wouldn't change that. Yeah, I think you could maybe nitpick a couple of these, but I think just for the sake of simplicity, I'll mostly leave it as it is. Guardian. Do I want to change Guardian? Shield effect. Damage with shields. Nah, I don't want to change that. Some of these, like Guardian, is kind of falling into a place where, oh, the Cleric's hat's also not on there. Warmonger was S in my opinion, or at least A. I guess Warmonger can be A. I like Warmonger a lot. It's just one of the few that actually works really good on like a DPS defense character. And that's part of the reason why is there's not a lot of options for those. So Warmonger can go into A. This one I'd put in A as well. I like this. Increase the damage of the team member with the highest total power. I like that set. And then also the other one isn't here too as well. The Sylph one. I noticed the Sylph one wasn't on our list just now. This one is another. I think this one's S. I think you could put this one in S. It's a really good one. So I think this one goes in S. So Sylph goes in S. Warmonger and the other one go in A. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think we're missing anything else. That was our last like batch of artifacts, right? It's just been a while. So, all right, guys, a little bit all over the place. Hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new as well. Thank you so much for your support here on the channel, on the content. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you all later.